So when we bought this ewe here, the one that had the lamb this last week, they're doing great. But when we bought them, we knew she was going to be lambing in the middle of January, when the next closest set of ewes we had that were going to be lambing was going to be the middle of February towards the beginning of March. So right now we have her here in a lambing jug. Our lambing jugs are 4 feet by 8 feet. Gives them plenty of room to get acquainted, get used to each other, figure out how the world works for the lamb. But we can't leave them in there for long term, so we had to come up with a new plan. And if the breeding window is tight like it is in the rest of the lambs, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because we could just put them in the pen, separate it off, so that way the new moms and their babies would all be in the same area. Everybody be getting along, everybody be looking out. Wouldn't really have to worry about that because everybody be watching out for their own lamb. So what we're going to do is put a pin here off the side of this hay rack over here towards this door. Basically it'll be 16 by 6 for that new ewe and the lamb, and then going forward we'll leave the pin up. Anytime we need to get a ewe and lamb its own little area, we'll just put it there. That way we can utilize this hay rack here. She'll be able to eat out of it. We'll only have to put hay in one spot, and then she'll have her own feeder. Plenty of room for her and the lamb to grow and stay out of the way of the bigger ewes. And so to build the wood panels for that pen, I have this stack of lumber here, and I'm going to put together some wood panels. So I ended up putting together 4 of these wooden panels. They're 32 inches tall to match up to the green gates, and they're 8 feet long. Seemed to work out pretty good. Here's the finished product, just your standard wooden panel. I ended up getting the design for it, or the plans for it, off of Cornell University's Small Farms website. It had some sheep panels and gates on there to build yourself, and I kind of liked the way they looked and looked easy enough to put together, so I went with those. I modified it a little bit for our needs. But I'm pretty sure it'll work out fine for the ewe and her lamb, but I don't know if the ram would tear it up or not, so we're going to experiment with them here with the ewes. So now that we got this area here cleaned out, we're going to go ahead and dump some barn lime there and spread it out, and then start setting up our gates to get the ewe and the lamb down here. So now that we got the barn lime down, you can see it made a good bed for them. We'll go ahead and put a couple bales of straw in, that way they have some deep bedding on top of that. So now we have it bedded down here, probably about 2 bales of straw in there. The plan is to basically run her down this little alleyway here, straight into the pen, and I'm gonna grab her baby and walk in front of her holding it so she'll basically follow it, we hope. Usually that's a good way to get them to move, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay. I'm out here checking on the heifers. It's like a rain sleet mixture outside right now. We got some snow yesterday, so everything that's coming down is now freezing to that snow, freezing to the gates, freezing everywhere. Their water looks good, and as you can see, they've got Plenty of hay here to eat. I am going to throw them a little bit of grain so that they can have some extra energy and a little treat. But otherwise, they're doing great. And then I'm going to go check on the steers as well. So you can see the little icicles starting to form there. This gate is actually underneath this roof a little bit, but the wind is blowing in enough to start forming icicles on what's coming down. And I most certainly did not wear the proper shoes to be scaling these gates, but sometimes the most convenient time to check the cows is when you're in the wrong footwear. Everybody down here seems to be doing okay. A couple of them are out here eating on the bales. Steven gave them a new bale yesterday because they had eaten down so much on it. These surges of cold temperatures will make them eat a lot. Cows stay warm by eating, so they need to eat for energy. Here comes a couple more out of the barn, wanting to see what I'm doing. The others are back in there laying and just staying comfortable. Again, it's important to give cattle a dry place to stay. I don't think they mind the cold so much. It's the moisture that really can just make them uncomfortable. But everybody here is doing great, so we're gonna leave them be. They got plenty of feed and water to help them stay warm, so they'll make it through this weather just fine. That's it for this video, so we hope you all will like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.